Good day traders, Sam here again to do another video update. The previous video I got a few likes, so I gather people like these videos and I'll continue to do so, and good practice for me. So what I'll do is I'll go through a whole bunch of coins if I can in the 19 minutes that we have with the recording. So let's start with Bitcoin. What's happening now? So on the chart I have the blue 10 daily EMA, the black 20, and so on, and the orange is the 7 weekly EMA. What I see here is still a bullish formation, nothing to worry about, no threat to going down, as I suggested in my previous link or post. So what do I have here? Let's just, for those that haven't seen what I've been thinking lately, we have we had this wedge, and we had the breakout, and pretty much top of the wedge we hit our target. And then from that point onwards, if we do a parallel channel, you can see that we also have this touch on this, respecting this channel along the way. So it shows to me that the Bitcoin is respecting the 10 and the 20 moving average, and it wouldn't surprise me that it doesn't go further down than the daily 20 moving average. And so we might just play around there for a while. If it was to dip, it will probably test this channel top line, and which has confluence with these two EMAs. One's the orange one, which has confluence over here for mini support. That's the weekly 7 EMA. So if it was to go for the dip, I would have my buy order there if you were lucky, and we'll just spring back up. The fact that it hasn't come down and touched this top of the channel tells me that we're pretty bullish. So that's what I got there at the moment, and that's my mindset in regards to Bitcoin. Let me just clean this up and see what else I've got here. And if we look at the fib levels, you can see that at the current moment, the 20 moving average roughly has confluence with the 0.382 on the micro level, and the bigger frame, the 0.236. And if it was to drop, as I said, the 0.5 is there, and even more strongly support is these two combinations, these two Fibonacci. So if it was to drop, don't miss out, buy it. So we have a boost, fib boost, two of them in line, along with the moving averages that historically shown that we have support. So if it was to drop, definitely buy, and I would think we'll in the coming week we'll probably do a whole all-time new high. So that's my thinking at the moment with Bitcoin. And another thing, just to touch on, sorry guys, I've got a sore throat. I've got this other thing that I can give it another perspective, and you can see that we have lower highs each time, and even if this was to be touched, that is definitely a lower high, and we have that kind of formation. So even if it comes down there, another reason why we continue going up high. So it just looks good, doesn't it? So that is my Bitcoin spiel. Okay, so let's look at the Bitcoin dominance, which is important. Let's go to the 8-hour. Oops. I am trying to go fast so I can cover more coins. And let me just get rid of the EMAs. We don't need them. So if you look at my Bitcoin dominance chart, this was the key level, and we've hit it. And I did state that we are likely to find a bounce, not a big bounce, but a bounce. And it will be even better if we had a breakthrough decisively, and then we know that this is definitely alt season. And when we look at the alt charts, many of them are opposed to being doing a breakout. So it's not going to be soon that we have a big alt season. The fact that we have support here, resist there. So historically, this level is huge significance. So the fact that we've hit it, And I would say that we have a bullish divergence. Oops, that's too much there. So we can see the RSI is pretty down. Let's see on the daily. What RSI? Yep, RSI is really down, so I would expect a bounce of some sort. And let's clear that up. That's actually broken through, hasn't it? Ah, by these. Yeah, that's broken through. Didn't think it would go that quick. I thought there'll be a bounce. So a bit more capitulation, and then it might just, okay. So it's in action right now. Okay, so it'll be interesting to see what happens on the short time frame. We've got bullish divergence, as you can see, and we had the bounce, but the bounce is not significant at the moment. How's that affecting Bitcoin prices? Not really. Bitcoin's gone up a bit. Let's see what's Ethereum doing. And no, it's not really doing any effect on the alts either. Okay, so that's my spill on Bitcoin dominance at the moment. Just seeing, and okay, one thing I forgot to mention. If we look at that, and when we had a big run last time on the alt season, it was up here, when Bitcoin dominance fell really hard and then plateaued and so on. So that big drop is equivalent to this one here. And that's why I was expecting some type of little bounce and then further down. So that could still happen. We're probably early days, but that scenario is what I'm looking down here, and most likely a dip, and therefore off season really kicks in. So what I've been thinking about and what people have been saying is that what you choose to have in terms of your portfolio is very important. If you do pick those coins that are low market cap, you're taking more risk. It will be wise to stay with the big alts, the likes of Ethereum, ADA, Neo, and so on. But here I've got a few that we can go through. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking about Bitcoin dominance and its correlation to the charts. So let's look at Ethereum. Let's look at the 1 hour. Let's see how we're going. So Ethereum is really good, really bullish, because we would have thought down here it would have been tested, and it didn't come down. So Ethereum even has a hidden bullish divergence, as I can see. So that's even more significant. Hidden bullish divergence, and Ethereum is about to pop up. Just more like that caught a call from the kids. So what we can see that's currently what's likely to happen. Ethereum's trying to pose to breaking that level, and I'll tell you that if it breaks that level, it's definitely going to go high. So we could see that Ethereum didn't make this dip at all. If you were lucky to get that one, great. The rest is so don't leave it behind. What I anticipate is either Ethereum is going to go sideways and then break up, and if Bitcoin was to drop a bit, it will drop about halfway or so and then up. So let's see the Fibonacci. I don't want to spend too much time on it, and let's see what the fibs say, because if you know my style, I do tend to do the A, B, C, D, E formation, and which is the Elliott wave count. So we have, so now the E could be anywhere between this and some fib level. So we can have the 0.382 or the point. So let's do this clearer. So I always do this between the 0.382 and the 0.618 is the zone to buy. Okay, if this was to come back down, if it's not the size of breaking out, but I do think it will come down a bit. And if you're lucky to get the wick, your last entry point. So if you missed there or you missed there, this is the last entry point. And if Ethereum was to come in down at all, so that's my spill on Ethereum. And where is it going to go? In the high 2,800 to mid 3,500. So that's my thinking on that. Now, the one thing I remember that there's a gap, CME gap. So CME gap, this was the reason why I thought Bitcoin would come down a bit, and it didn't. And now we have a CME gap here. So can Bitcoin drop down to this level with the CME gap? It's very hard to say, really, because it's usually the case where. So can we see it coming down? If it did come down, it would be a very quick wick. And that's where I think the Bitcoin dominance might come up. Now, I said the Bitcoin dominance will have a bounce. So if Bitcoin drops down there very quickly, which is possible, but at this point, yeah. So if it was to come out, if we find this as resistance and it comes down, wicks, and then back up, and so on. And that might fulfill the inverse head and shoulders as well. So I doubt it will come this low, but that there's a possibility. The thing is, the wick the wick doesn't count to disqualify as an inverse head and shoulders. So we could still have an inverse head and shoulders and a pretty high spike up. So that's the other perspective. And now let's look at ADA. ADA is just purely accumulation at the moment, and this is the zone. You can see there's very little movement, and if there's any, and the chances are it won't go lower unless Bitcoin really drops. So my perspective on ADA is this formation, a pretty big squeeze, and there's a movement up. So from a level perspective, it's not really, but these are the ones that really move hard when there's not much volatility. So we have low high, another small lower high, and you can say that the ones here, and you can say that's what we call the free valleys, and then bang. So HOP did that, and you see how HOLO really went high. So yeah, accumulate, buy now, and if you maybe put some reserve prices just below there, you'll be even better off. Going to Neo. Neo is almost there, breaking out. So it's done the reaccumulation, and I'm running out of time. So Neo has done its thing, and it's broken out. Now it's finding resistance just here, just under this spot. Right, so it won't take long. What I'll say is this is a breakout trade. So if you look at it closely, a few touches, I reckon there will be another pullback, the third touch, and you can see that the lowers are getting higher, and the third touch, even maybe the fourth, up it goes. So that's Neo. Yeah, you pretty much missed out if you haven't bought in, but that's an opportunity to buy there. SXP is no different to the others. Another formation that's taken place, lower highs. They're all doing something similar. Yep. And you can say that. So this one's already broken out, and I wonder why it's holding it back. We'll have a look. But that's pretty much it. It's broken out. I've bought in, and let's see what Binance. All right. So what Binance is there? Okay, there we go. So there's a previous resistance level, which is there. That won't take long to break. So right there, and that explains. So what most likely will take place, as you can see there, clearly that wick was retested. That level was retested, and okay, so we might see a bit of a consolidation below that resistance, and then off it goes. So that's your last chance to buy SPX or SXP, and if we were to use any method, initial height would probably be there, 6.35, but we've got this big mega structure which is like a cup. So I dare say it is very possible that we can have this pretty much as a target and much more. So if we do it with non-log, you can see how high it goes. Yeah, if you have to log on it, it doesn't give the right perspective, and that's minimum. Let's see where it is. Where are we? Price from the current spot, it's about 54%. I would say even more if we do the 1.618 and so on. Anyway, I won't spend time on that. We're running out of time. Hot, I reckon will go higher still. Looking at the 1 hour, we have the free values, as we say, and it's going to go parabolic. That's my thinking. This is just going to go crazy. Yeah, how far will it drop back, depending on what Bitcoin does. But we have this level here where it might just stay around, and so I do think this is going to hang around here for a while in this level. And I did put a post update where I said it's possible that if it does drop, it does this formation or some type of formation where and breaks up. So yeah, that's what's possible if it goes below that level. This one also is another one. You can look at. I'm running out of time, so I won't go into this. This one's also done a nice formation. Looking at the third, and then up again. T-Fuel THETA, and is one of my favorites, and I suppose you will know why, because of the previous performance. And you can see this level is pretty much support. So if you got a chance to buy anything below that, somewhere around here, any wicks, buy it. But that is pretty much the lowest go, and you can see the formation is going to be an ascending triangle. Okay, so this he hasn't done much. So in terms of mega structure, and it will continue to go. THETA is one of those ones that will go up to probably 17 cents, $17, $18, even higher. VET has just already broken out. So also it's a beautiful chart. Look at that trend, and so you can see the breakout. And I've been accumulating on those bottoms, and I did actually think that there'll be more, but there wasn't. So that was the case. So yeah, if you haven't bought, you're going to miss out. If you're lucky, you might come back down to retest this level here, just around here. So that's where you should put your pricing. Link is a similar scenario. As you can see, running out of time. Buy if you can in that space. Okay, so that is another accumulation bottom. Once it goes above this, it's not going to come back down. Either buy now. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it might just come down to this level actually, and that's probably the last time you can buy Link. And Litecoin, EGDL, they're all doing something good. EGLD is now, buy now, and you can see the structure. It's already pretty much taken off, and I made a post on that, so you can see where the support is. It's touched it once, hasn't dropped anymore. It might not